Thank you very much, and it's wonderful to be here with you on such a wonderful evening. I've been here since 7 and I've got to see so many different lovely dancers and singing and different performing acts that I've not seen before, so it's been a really multicultural experience for me. I'd also like to acknowledge Deputy Mayor Mark Root, and thank you for his attendance this evening, and Jamie who encouraged me along and persisted bringing information and making sure that I would be here for the evening to see the special things that you do. And I'd like to especially acknowledge the two speakers that spoke of their own stories and hardship and overcoming those hardships and really thriving, and what a wonderful way to look at something rather than looking at it as a disability, look at it as a special gift, a skill, just a difference. And I remember once in a speech, it was explained to me, multiculturalism, rather than thinking of it as differences, to think of it as a stained glass window, that it is the differences that make it beautiful, and that it is in Australia such a unique thing that over 75% of Australians have an ancestry that is other than Australian. And despite the social and cultural biases that have been around for a long time, there have been biases, as we've heard, against people with disabilities and mental health problems. So it is important to acknowledge these individuals within our community and eliminate the negative social stigmas. A lot of work is being done currently, obviously around same-sex marriage as well as mental health. There's been a lot of awareness, but there's far, far more to go. And talking about it and being open about it and accepting it is part of our community, and doing all that we can to encourage and not to see the disability but to see all the other abilities, because everybody has special gifts, and I do truly believe we're all born perfectly, exactly how God intended, and we need to see ways to overcome that, and as a community to enable that to happen, whether it's simple things like ramps and easy to walk on footpaths, or accessible buildings, or things like that, and adapting houses. There's the universal housing code now that allows for wider doors and toilet doors opening outwards for people in wheelchairs. A lot of changes have happened over the years in our country. We're very fortunate. I went to Hong Kong about 8 years ago, and I just thought how unbelievably difficult it would be if you couldn't walk. Their gutters, their roads, I thought even a woman with a pram and a child, or somebody on a wheelie, or someone in a wheelchair, I thought would no way be able to get around. Whereas in Australia, it's far easier than in many, many other countries, but certainly there is a lot more to go. So we are very thankful for our multicultural background in Australia, and it's certainly brought to us lots of different food and colours and costumes, and as we've seen tonight, dance. I grew up in a home of meat and 3 veg, so I've been particularly thrilled about all the different restaurants and food and all the lovely costumes and bright colours that we now see around our streets, which is such a wonderful thing. I moved to Prospect in 1983, and at that time my sister and I were the only 2 children really for streets. We didn't even know any other children in the area, and pretty well it was all Italians and Greeks were the migrants in Prospect, and I've seen it change considerably. Our last citizenship ceremony here only a week or 2 weeks ago, there were 22 new migrants, and 21 of them were Indian and 1 was Malaysian. So we have such a multicultural city, and in Prospect particularly we have a lot of Indian people moving in and a lot of African. We've traditionally had many Italians and many Greeks, so, and in the city areas at their citizenship ceremonies there are lots of Chinese and Asian people moving in. So it's such a wonderful cultural mix, and so thank you for the invite tonight, and it's been wonderful to learn more about what you do and to be part of a fun evening. Thank you.